Good morning, everyone. In this video, let us discuss about exception handling. So we already discussed about classes, inheritance, method of overriding, operator overloading, and data hiding. So let us discuss about errors and exceptions. So we need to, by the end of this class, you will be understanding what is the difference between an error and an exception, how to handle exceptions using try and except block, raising exceptions, and how to define your own exceptions when you have a feeling to define your own exception. Okay, so let us start with the difference between an error and exception. So difference between error and exception. Okay, according to Python documentation, there are two distinguishable kinds of errors. One is syntax errors, the second one is exceptions. Syntax error, also known as parsing error, this occur when you make a typo. So for example, you forget you made a spelling mistake, you forget to put a closing quote, you forget to close the braces, you forget to put a colon, you have given an extra indentation. There are many other syntax errors which you have gone through when you are doing your programs regularly. So a syntax error is an error. So first of all, we are telling that the errors are two types. One is syntax errors, other one is exceptions. Okay. So when we think of syntax error, these are also known as compile time errors, because syntax errors are raised when you are trying to compile your program. That is before your program starts getting executed. A syntax error will rise before the program starts getting executed. That is one thing we should remember. So when we think of an example for the syntax error, okay, there you can see print high. In the high, the quotes were mismatching. You can see that. So a double quote at the beginning and a single quote at the ending. This is a syntax error. So I have provided some syntax errors. You can see while true colon print 10. The first line you can see while true colon print 10. The error there is we have not given the parenthesis for the print function. From Python 3, print is a function which requires its arguments inside the parenthesis. So that is an error. You can see syntax error, missing parenthesis. When you look at the second line, print high, the same example I have shown in the previous slide. Okay, there is mismatch between the quotes, a double quote at the beginning and a single quote at the end. So again, it is telling syntax error. And you can see in the third line, while true, I have not given the colon there, print system. That is what I am trying to print. It is an error again, because for every compound statement, there should be a colon. These are different examples of errors. Then what is an exception? We know very well about errors now. Syntax errors, we make this number of times whenever we write a program. Number of times we have made these mistakes. Okay. Then what about an exception? For example, if an error is detected while the execution is going on, while the program is running, then we say that it is an exception. So this gets detected after the program starts running. Okay, you can see this. I have given an example there. If I say x is equal to int input, I am trying to read an input from the user. After that, I need to convert it into an integer. Okay, so it is asking the input. Then I have given the input king. It is expecting a number from me, whereas I have given a string. So this is an error, and you can see that it is not written as syntax error. In the red lines, you can see we call this as stack trace. Stack trace is some description about the error, where the error occurred, in which line. Okay, all these details, from which function, all these details will be there in the stack trace. In the stack trace, you can see value error. Okay, this is an error known as value error. Invalid literal for int function. I have given int function. Int function requires a base 10 number, whereas I given king. So we know that this error occurred at the at the execution time. Why? Because it is taking the input, that is the program is running, it is asking you the input. When you gave the input, then it identified that it is not matching with the int function and it raised the exception. So this was the difference. Syntax errors occur at compile time and exceptions occur at runtime, or we say exceptions occur when the program is getting executed. You can see another example. X is equal to 1, 2, 3. It is taking there. Okay. X is having 3 elements indexed by 0, 1, 2. So the range of index is 0 to 2. We cannot give any value other than this. Whereas I am trying to print X of 5. This is out of the range of the index. You can see that again stack trace is printed where it is telling it is index error. Okay, it says that it is an index error. List index is out of range, whereas the range is 0, 1, 2. That is, it should be from 0 to 2. I am giving 5. 5 is out of range. Okay, this is about exceptions. With these examples, I think that you know what is error and what is an exception. Okay, then. So in Python, if I want to define anything, it should be an object. Okay, for example, the basic data types like integer, float, bool, string, everything is an object. So what about these errors? Are errors also objects? The answer is yes. Errors are defined in Python as classes, and every error that is raised is an object of a particular error class. Okay, let us see how these classes are defined. We know that classes are related by inheritance. We can relate one class to another class by inheritance. Okay, let me see this. In Python, exception or error types are defined in a class hierarchy. So all errors or exceptions in Python are nothing but classes, with the root of this hierarchy being base exception. So there are number of errors defined as a class, child class, and child class like that. And the base class, that is a parent class of all these errors, is exception. What is the parent class of all these errors? BASE, base exception, is the parent class of all the errors. Okay, then all built-in errors and exceptions eventually extend from the base exception. So every error that is defined, for example, you can remember index error is there, type error is there, value error is there, key error is there. You have seen 2 errors in the previous example. All these errors are child classes of exceptions, base exception. All these errors are child classes of base exception. Okay, base exception has the immediate subclass known as exception class. So base exception has an immediate subclass which is exception class, and every user defined exception, even user can define an exception. If you try to define an exception, you should extend your exception to exception class. Okay, let us look at the hierarchy, then we will understand this easily. This is the class hierarchy of built-in exceptions. So what is the parent class of every exception? At the top, you can see base exception. It is a parent class or base class for every exception. That is base exception. The immediate child class of the base exception is exception. Then you have many childs for the exception: arithmetic exception, attribute, buffer error, end of file error, import error, like that. Many exceptions are there. Okay. So whatever the error is raised by the Python, it should be object of any of these classes. So this is how the errors or exceptions are defined in Python. How to handle exceptions? So we said that at the beginning, I am going to tell you by the end of this video, you will understand the difference between an error and exception. I think now you know the difference between error and exception. Error is a syntax error which is raised at the compile time. An exception is something which is raised at the execution time. Okay, that is the basic difference. So you know the examples of errors and exceptions. Now let us look at how to handle an exception. Okay, for example, when I write a code and I suspect that a particular set of lines raises exception, then I should take care. Okay, if it raises exception, then I should take care. Okay, then how to do that? That was one simple doubt. Let us see this. We can use Python built-in statements. Python has given us some mechanism to handle these exceptions. Okay, so that is try and except block. Then what is this try block and what is the except clause? Okay, try block. The code which is to be monitored should be placed in the try block. If I feel that, as I told you previously, if some particular 5 lines or 10 lines is going to raise an exception, you got a suspicion that this code may raise an exception, then simply put that code inside the try block and write an except block after the try block to catch the exception raised by that code. This is a simple way of using try and except block. Okay, what is that I am telling? Whenever you suspect that a particular code will raise an error or exception, put those lines of code inside the try block and write an except clause after the try block. So the code which is to be monitored should be placed in the try block. Okay, so if you put the code in the try block, if it throws the exceptions, then that will be catched by the except block. So except clause, this indicates what to do when certain exception occurs. So assume that the exception has occurred, then what we should do, that is written in the except clause. Sometimes we require multiple except clauses. Okay, so the code may raise different kinds of errors and I want to handle every error separately, then we can have multiple except clauses. Okay, so now I think you understood what is try block and what is except clause. We will write an example on that. This was the syntax you can see. So in the try colon, in the try block, I'm putting that code to monitor. Whatever the code I want to monitor, put it in the try block. After that, we are writing the except. There, we are telling that type of exception. I am assuming that it may raise some kind of error. Then I will write the type of exception there, colon. Code to call if exception is found. Whenever there is an exception, what should I do? That should be written in the except block. Okay, catch the error, handle the error. So the exception is raised in the try block, it will be catched by the except and it will be handled there. This is try and except. Let me go to idle and try to do a program there. Okay, let me put this existing code inside the comment. I don't want to use this. Okay, let me define a function. Name division, which takes 2 arguments and returns x divided by y. That is a very simple function you can see. Then I am asking the user x is equal to int input, or let me directly give div 3 comma 4. Let me print this. Print. Let me run this program. File, save, run. I think you can guess this is a division function I am calling. It is given 3 and 4, that is 3 by 4 will be written. That is 0.75 should be the output. Let me run this. Okay, you can see the output 0.75. Everything is going good, nice. Then all of a sudden, I have given 3 comma 0. So now you try to guess what should be the output 3 by 0. Let me see what is happening. So it is raising an exception. So a stack trace is printed, trace back. And what is the exception it is raising? 0 division error. So division by 0. You can't divide a number by 0. So that is a problem there. So I should handle this situation. For example, if I put try. So if you assume that something raises an error, I said that put that in except. And what is the error we are raising? 0 division error as we 20. Let me see what happens now. File, save, run module. So you can see now it is printed 0 division error. Okay, or I can define my own statement here. Instead of printing the error, I need not catch the error also. If I want to catch the error, I can catch it using the as keyword. If I just want to define, hey, you are trying to divide the number by 0. Okay, let me run this. Hey, you are trying to divide the number by 0. This is the problem here. Okay. Then I am giving the input like this. Let us see what will happen. File save, run module. Again trace back. You can see type error, unsupported operands for types division. For division, I require int. I am giving int and string, whereas I require type int and int or something like that. Okay. So type error. Again, there is an error, and it was not caught by this. So why I was unable to catch it? This except is catching only 0 division error. It is not catching type error. So I can write multiple except blocks if I want. Except, then I'm taking type error, colon, print, you should pass only numbers. Okay, file save, run module. So you can see that you should pass only numbers. Okay. Then if I make another mistake like this, file save. What is the error here? I am trying to pass 3 arguments, whereas the function takes only, division function is taking only 2 arguments. Run module. Okay. So again, it is telling you should pass only numbers. You should pass only numbers. Okay. So this is the structure for try except. Okay. So whenever we assume that a particular block of code will raise an error that is put in the try block, what kind of error is being raised, that can be catched by the except block. We can write any number of except clauses after the try. Okay. Let us go to our PPT. Except clause can catch any type of error or exception if you don't specify any exception type. For example, I don't want to write number of except clauses like that. I simply want to write a single except clause and tell that there is some error. Okay, then I can do it by using except clause without writing any type of exception. Okay, like this except colon. If I write like this, it can catch any type of exception and print that there is some error. For example, in the same previous code, instead of writing these many except blocks, I can simply say that except colon, print something went wrong. You can remove this part. File save, run module. So it is both numbers printed there. If I try to give 0, run. Okay, something went wrong. That is the output I got. If I give a integer, text, then also it says that something went wrong. So I can catch the exceptions using single except block. Okay. but it is better if you differentiate between the errors. For example, what is the particular type of error that is being raised? If you know that, that is also good. Based on the application, we will decide on which method to use. This was an example that I have run for you now. Okay. So with the try and except clauses, we are also provided with finally and else clause. For example, you are working with some resources. You opened a file, reading data from that, or you are updating a file, or you are connected to internet and fetching data from some other website, doing something like that. You are working with some resources. Suddenly an exception raised, and the file you are modifying was left open like that, or the connection you established with a website is left open like that, then that is a real problem. So what we should do is, even the exception rises or not, we should take care that the resources that you have open should be closed, the files you have open should be closed. There is something that should be done without compulsory, that should be done without taking or considering whether the exception raised or not. Then put that code in the finally block. Okay, so finally is an optional block, and it contains the code which should be run without considering whether the exception raised or not. That is what we mean by finally. And else clause. Else clause means, again, it is an optional clause. Okay, and it will be run if and only if no exception was thrown. If everything went well in the try block, then we won't go to the except clause. Okay, we will, if there is else clause, we will go to the else clause. If I want something to run when everything went well, then put it in the else clause. So by this, we are looking at 4 clauses. One is try, except, finally, and else. Okay, that's good. That is a simple way of handling the exceptions. Then in some cases, the user may think that he want to raise an exception. So if the user want to raise the exception, is there a particular method given in Python? Means yes, there is a particular way to raise the exceptions. That is by using the raise keyword. Okay, it is possible for the user to raise an exception. Okay, by using the raise keyword. And the syntax is raise followed by the exception you want to raise. If I want to raise an type error, so just write raise type error. If I want to raise division by 0 ever, so write type, raise particular type of error. You can see the example here. So I want to show an example, a simple example, not applicable one. So you can see the try colon raise index error. I am raising index error there, except index error, print index error. So what happens is that when it goes into the try block, the first line is there, raise index error. There, it will look at the raise index error, then it will raise the error. Okay. So that the other, if there is any code below the raise statement, that won't be executed. So the error will be raised and it will go to the except block, and what is there in the except block will be printed. That is a simple example for raising an error. We can do it in idle. For example, let me leave this. So I am putting in the try block, print hi all, and again I am telling rise index error. Then I'm trying to print by. I am putting except class. Except this is to catch index error. And again here I'm telling that print index error rise. So this error is being raised by the user, not by the Python. File save, run module. You can see it printed hi all, then index error raised, but there is no by here, which means that here the error raised, the control goes to accept. Okay, any code after the error is raised won't be executed. Okay, and this is not because of any error, because it is not trying to access any element out of the index, but it is raised because of the user by using the raise keyword. So sometimes programmers want to raise the exceptions, so it was possible in Python. This is about raising exceptions. Then the last topic of this thing is user defined exceptions. Even user can define his own exceptions. So the user can define his errors or exceptions. To define an exception, you create a subclass of the exception. Again, if I want to define an exception, it means that I want to write a class which is a subclass of the exception class. We remember the built-in hierarchy of the exceptions. So I want to write a class, and that should be the subclass of the exception class. Okay, that is what I mean by defining an exception. So you can see the example there, class some name bad. Okay, there we are giving the parent class exception, and I am not defining anything inside pass, which means that it will fetch everything that is there in the exception class, and it will behave like an exception. Okay, then in the function doomed, we are raising bad exception. You can see that define doomed raise bad, automatically that will raise the exception. That function is going to raise the exception. So in the try block, I am calling doomed and telling that except bad, print got bad. So that was a simple example for defining exception. Okay, so let us look at an example in the idle. Let me delete all this. In this example, what we are doing is that we are defining an exception called class invalid as exception. This is our exception we are defining, invalid as exception. And the idea is that we have a function called getAge, okay, where we are trying to ask the user to enter his age. And if the age entered by the user is less than 0 or greater than 120, we want to raise an exception. Okay, so we are checking it. I define the class, and that exception is invalid age exception, extending to the exception class. That is the parent is exception, and I am not defining anything, simply pass. So define getAge is we are taking age here. So then if is instance is int, so this is a particular method called is instance. Is instance is used to find whether the particular element you are giving is of particular class or not. For example, I am passing age here, and it should be integer. So it will check whether age is an object of type int or not. Is instance is whether it is integer or not. That is what I am giving here. Is instance has got two arguments. One is what you want to check and what class it is. Okay. Then and if age should be greater than 0, so age greater than 0 and age less than 120. This is the statement I am taking. And print your age is age. Then I will accept the age. Else raise invalid age exception. In other case, raise an error. We are checking it here. Try get age 554. Accept invalid age exception. Sorry, you entered wrong age. This is an example for defining your own exception, then raising it using that exception. Okay, let me run this program. Run module. Okay. Sorry, you entered wrong age. What is the age I entered? 554. Okay. If I want to try it, I can try again. Let me give 12. Save. Okay, your age is 12. So it is working fine. So we were able to define our own exceptions. Okay. this is some basic idea on exceptions. If you think about this and use it, it will be very helpful to you. Okay, thank you everyone for listening to the class. Okay, we'll continue in the next class.